Hi guys, what's up? This is a quick one about consciousness. So I've been thinking about consciousness a fair bit in the last few months and changed my opinion here and there, back and forth a little bit. So I thought I'd update you on this stuff. So my feelings now are bending towards idealism or anti-physicalism, you might call it, the view that there's just consciousness and there isn't a real physical world. So why do I think that? It's basically, I've done other videos on this, but to summarize briefly, I don't see how consciousness follows from physical processes, and I don't think it's obvious that if you get a bit of information in someone's eye or in their brain or whatever, that would cause this kind of first person experience that we get. It just seems to me much more natural to think that any amount of physical machinery will just not produce any consciousness at all. So since we do seem to be having consciousness, it seems like we can't doubt the consciousness too much, but we can doubt the physical world, or at least we could be in some sort of fake physical world that is really just experiences, a little bit like a dream, except a dream, yeah, we suppose is like a physical thing. But so the challenge for that view, I've always felt, is that why then is the physical world? Why does it seem? Why does sorry? Does why are our experiences so like exactly like a physical world? Why do you, if you bash your head, you get a conscious experience of that, and if you leave like some letters under your bed, the physical world seems to remember what was in the letters, and then you sort of piece together it later. It's like the physical world seems to be really happening, and it seems to be. I've never really experienced anything that I can like provably say was a deviation from physical like causality in my life. It's all very mundane. Things just seem to follow exactly like they would do in a physical world. So why is it like that? My latest solution is that there could be other beings, like godlike beings of pure consciousness, because I'm saying there is only pure consciousness. And those beings have decided to cause us, or me certainly, to have this fake physical world. Maybe they're doing it for fun. It's a bit like the simulation argument. Like there's some beings who've put us in this fake sort of scenario, and why they've done it is who knows. Could be just for the fun of it, or just because they can. But anyway, so basically, to summarize, let's say there's multiple consciousnesses. Some are powerful enough to send information to others, such that the others, which would include myself, are experiencing the information that these more powerful beings have inflicted on us. This seems to, I mean, I'm positing sort of gods or something, so it seems maybe a little bit far-fetched in that way. But in terms of wrapping your head around how it works, it hasn't got like an internal problem like the physical view has, where you're supposed to believe that this consciousness is being caused somehow by the just the physical objects and particles and waves and things. A third option is, of course, dualism. Maybe we can have both sides, both things that seem to be true maybe are both true, but then we have I have discussed this in previous videos when I was a dualist. We do have interaction problems, and we have to believe that we, because on a physical view, it's hard to see how we know it, how we can know anything that isn't just physical stuff. So if consciousness is anything beyond the physical, then how on earth do we know about it? We can't. So that's a problem for physicalism. If consciousness seems to be a bit more than just literally a physical description or something, or just a physical process. But then for the dualist, we have the problem that they've kind of got to magically get information from the consciousness to our brains. So it's like the consciousness has to sort of move atoms or something, at least to be noticed by us and reported by us. There is a second, actually two more scenarios I thought of on the idealist side in the last couple of months. One is the idea that it's not God's making this stuff, but some sort of natural process. So the scenario I'm in, that seems to be like being a human being on planet Earth, is actually that the information that makes up that scenario is actually kind of like a computer virus. It's jumping from consciousness to consciousness, and it's kind of it's evolving somehow. And maybe these viruses kind of flourish if the consciousnesses are taken in by them and find them sort of convincing and believable sort of scenarios. We're kind of gaslighted by these viruses, and they keep honing down their physical world. So we end up with this super elaborate and thoroughly convincing physical world that I at least seem to be in. And the last thing I thought of was this is more of a dualist view, but it's related. We could have the gods that I mentioned before, but maybe there is actually a physical world somewhere where there probably isn't consciousness, but there are physical animals like myself, and I would be one of those. But they're actually just taking the sensory information from one of these physical animals and turning it into basically a movie for beings of pure consciousness and getting them to do it. Or maybe I'm one of the gods and I suspended my memory of being a god to have this kind of fairground ride of being an animal on a planet for a few decades. I don't think that's so likely. It's more likely that they just created the scenario without there being an original physical version of all this. But anyway, I thought it was kind of fun because the world does seem to be a kind of movie of a physical world. Anyway, we call that the movie theory, and the one we said before that we call the virus theory, and the other one the gods theory, perhaps. Anyway, hope you found that interesting. All the best. Bye.